Freelancing on Upwork seems like a no-brainer. With enough positive reviews and money shown, clients will come to you. But if you're not aware of these 5 lessons, the first year is going to be way harder than it has to be. I've made over 35K on Upwork with 0 prior freelancing experience. So in this video, I'll share the biggest insights that I learned over my first year and give you practical tips to more easily navigate these obstacles. Before we get into it, I think lessons 2 and 4 are the most helpful for any beginner. So keep those in mind as we kind of go through these. All right, number 1. So this comes down to screening clients properly. Just like there's a ton of shitty freelancers, there's a ton of shitty clients. The goal is to screen clients and send less proposals. When screening these clients, it's not just about prices they're offering. It comes down to these couple things. So see how much they spent on Upwork. If it's very little, be a little wary. The next, see if their hourly rate is pretty low. You can kind of see their average hourly rate when you're looking at the job there. Also, obviously, if their payment isn't verified, I'd be hesitant to apply as well. If they have negative reviews, obviously, you shouldn't be applying to them, especially as a beginner. Finally, if they do reach out and they seem argumentative, difficult, or sour about their freelancers, I wouldn't recommend working with them. In the beginning, you will have to deal with some difficult clients. That's just the name of the game. So always be ready to do extra work and offer refunds if the client is extremely difficult. I know it's part of being a beginner, but as you make more money in the platform, I always recommend turning down clients if they seem difficult or not easy to work with. So be aware, if clients are paying you very little, they'll have no problem asking you to work for free. The second key lesson is that in your proposals, clients only see the first 230 characters. So the point is to make those characters count. And here are the 3 exact ways to do just that. And if you're a true beginner, I recommend going with option 3 for at least the first 6 months. So first is include a funny, awkward, self-depreciating first line. It just catches their eye and guarantees that it's not another AI proposal. The second option is including a guarantee in the first line of your proposal. For example, if you're in SEO, it might be something like, I guarantee 20% traffic growth in 8 months. If we don't see that, I'll offer 1 month free work. The third option is the one I recommend for all beginners, and that is make your first line include mention of a related prior work. Because when a client reads proposals, they want to see 2 things, and they are that 1, you can do the job properly, and 2, you have experience with their niche. So one lesson to keep in mind is that clients will sometimes say a phrase or word, say something like, please include this line at the front of your proposal, just to prove that you read the entire thing. Here's a quick example here, and then after that, just jump into one of those 3 methods that I went over. The third lesson is that the first 3 months of Upwork will suck no matter what. But if you continue to apply every day, it will get easier quicker. To make these first 3 months suck less, I recommend you make it a mission to send at least 5 proposals every single day. So if you're sitting there thinking you're not getting hired, making enough money, ask yourself, did you send 5 proposals today? And just to gauge your expectations, expect to send about 50 proposals before getting hired for your first gig. That's an average. I've seen people do better or worse. Just keep in mind it's going to take a little bit to get hired. Number 4, being responsive makes you look good, even if your work isn't the best. So if you're not the most technical person, being responsive will help you win clients. If you watch any of those millionaire or billionaire street interview videos, a constant theme is that they're always super responsive. They answer their texts, emails, and calls immediately. So if you do this as a freelancer, it's a strong signal of trust, and the client will really appreciate it and look past your other flaws. Number 5, the hardest part isn't the work, it's the customers. You'll deal with scope creep, you'll deal with shitty customers, you'll be frustrated and feel overworked at times, maybe even taken advantage of. It's all part of the game. But how you deal with this will directly affect how quickly your profile grows. So in these scenarios, there are 2 options. The first is you suck it up, do the work, finish the project, and move on. The second is you give them a full refund and move on to avoid a negative review. Here's an example from a client that I had. I knew this guy seemed difficult, and I asked for a higher price, and he shot me down. So originally this was just for 5 blog posts, and then he required me to buy his keyword tool, which was about $100. And then he wanted me to format the post and then upload them to WordPress and then add images. So quickly the scope grew by quite a bit. On top of that, he was extremely needy. I think we had 4 impromptu same-day phone calls that took up almost 2 hours of my time. If you're wondering how this ended, here's a quick screenshot. And this one stung a little. Now that you know what to expect in your first year in Upwork, the next step is mastering your proposals. I go over that in this video here with everything you should include in every single one of your proposals. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.